Ladies and gentlemen, I told you about this. I have been speaking about it since the death of Honorable Raila Molodinga on 15th of October this month. William Ruto has taken it upon himself to auction this country completely as we are mourning Right Honorable Raila Molodinga. Raila died on 15th of October. In the morning of that day, William Ruto in State House signed 8 bills into law. Among the said bills was the Privatization Bill, which allowed government to sell public owned companies to private entities. Are we together? Now, within the last 5 days, as we were talking about the burial of Raila Amolo Odinga and the country was in the mourning mood, William Ruto actually processed the sale of 11 state farms that has currently gone through. Now remember, this is the privatization bill that I'm talking about. I haven't touched on the cyber security bill that was passed, which allows the state to actually arrest, capture, delete, or shut down social media platforms. Now, which are the said 11 entities that President William Ruto, after the signing off the, the public bill, has officially sold? Ladies and gentlemen, munamuita Gevenji. I don't know which name you're going to use from now onwards. President William Ruto started the first, according to the Star newspaper, is the KLB, the Kenya Literature Bureau. This is the company that is involved with the supply of books in schools over the country, primary school books, secondary school, and all that. So this is the company. Right now, the company was owned by the state or the government of the Republic of Kenya. Now, when a company is owned by the government of the Republic of Kenya, that means you as a citizen, you have a stake in that company because you are the taxpayer of this republic. So ina maana wewe kama mlipa ushuru wa nchi na jamhuri ya Kenya, you have a stake in that company. Are we together? So that is the first company. The second company is the National Oil Company. Munasikia kampuni ambazo zinauzwa? The National Express Oil Company. The number 3 company is the Kenya Seed Company Limited, KSC. And on number 4, take this to the bank. We were told about it by Rigathi Gachagua, but unajua because tunaonanga Gachagua ni wazimu mwingine, we never take anything he says serious. Look at it. On number 4 on the state farm that has been sold is the Kenyatta International Convention Center. KICC has been privatized. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, William Ruto is going to milk this country now than ever because he sees the one-term guarantee is actually signed and it has been passed. After the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, who was his life support machine in the politics of the day, William Ruto. That is why he he moved so quickly on the 15th of October, that morning, to sign these bills into law. Now, umesikia kampuni ni ngapi nimetaja? 4. Ya 5 ni the Mwea Rice Mills Limited. Mwea Rice Mills Limited, hii ni kampuni ambayo inatumika, it is owned by the Republic of Kenya to process the rice that is actually processed in Mwea Tebere irrigation scheme. Now remember, a few months ago, we had this narration and a topic that was going viral that the government of Kenya had imported 5 million metric tons of rice at the country, the irrigation schemes za Mwea, Tebere na hizi zingine tuko nazo, they could not produce enough rice, so William Ruto had to export rice, and the companies that were used to export rice are personal companies linked to President William Ruto and his friends. Tunaelewana wadau? So the Mwea Rice Mills Limited, unasikia hii kampuni kwa sasa, it is sold to a private company. Ho, hang to you who think that the private companies are the ones that are buying these public companies. Behind those companies that have been are now buying shares into these public companies or these public firms, utapata politicians wako huko, William Ruto kadhaa wako huko. Are we together? On number 6 is the Western Kenya Rice Mills Limited. What is so urgent with these rice companies? Because William Ruto, there is one thing we don't understand. We saw him akauza sugar, Sone Sugar Company, Mumias Sugar Company, akaenda akauza sijui hizo zingine. A lot of sugar companies ziliuziwa Wahindi ambao ni marafiki wa William Ruto kule western part of Kenya. Now amerudi kwa kampuni za mchele. Let me tell you one thing. If you want to control the economy of a country, control the basic needs that that country needs, or the most common commodity that is required in that country. Rice is one of the most common commodity that is required in Kenya. Tuko pamoja? And that is why the two major public companies, the rice, they have been privatized, as it was made so in the business ya sukari. Tuko pamoja? Let's go forward. Number 7 is the Kenya Pipeline Company. The Kenya Pipeline Company, this was a company that Raila Amolo Odinga also signed on the sale of it. This is a company that brought a lot of controversy in court and led to the questioning of the privatization bill that was being passed in the House of Parliament. Tuko pamoja? Now, kwa sababu sisi tulipigwa na butoa, tunaomboleza baba Raila Amolo Odinga, William Ruto has signed the sale. Na hizi kampuni zishaenda. I don't know as a country what we will be left with. On number 8, the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited. Hii ni kampuni ya maziwa, yogurt na vitu zingine ambazo ni za dairy. Now imeuzwa pia. Ladies and gentlemen, are you hearing the type of companies that are being sold? Milk companies, sugar companies, oil companies, kampuni za elimu like the KLB ambazo zinahusika na literature na masomo ya nchi yetu ya Kenya ndizo zinaenda. Let me ask you, how are we going to survive as a country if you find that these companies that are being sold, 80% of the shares of those companies belonged to the public. Now the public only owns a stake of like 5% or even 2%. Tell me how William Ruto strategy of selling public companies will benefit us, yet wameshindwa kumanage the shadow scheme that they came with called social health authority, SHA. They have now resulted to going back to using the old model that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was using under the former government ambayo ilikuwa inaitwa NHIF. Tuko pamoja wadau? Going forward, on number 9 is the Numerical Machining Complex Limited. That one I don't have much knowledge about it. Then on number 10 is the Vehicle Manufacturers Limited Company. Kampuni ambayo inahusika katika utengenezaji wa magari hapa nchini, kwa sasa imeuzwa kwa mtu binafsi. We are saying we want to make this country like Singapore. Instead of our country holding these entities and we pumping more resources into these companies to build them and make them strong, we are auctioning them. It's like auctioning a country. I mean, within 5 days, kampuni 11 zishaenda. On number 11 is the Rivertex East African Limited Company, hiyo pia imeenda. Tunasema heloi lama sabakidhani. Mnamuita Githenji, sijui mtambadika jina gani wakati mnagundua mahali ambapo tutakuwa mwaka 2027 wakati mtakapokuwa mnapiga kura. It's upon time you rise against this impunity. Did Nyoro warned us against the privatization of public companies, but we never took the man serious. Gachagua and his allies, they don't talk about the real issues affecting our country. Kazi ni payu za one term. We want people that are going to speak to us about public debt and the privatization of public companies. Wadau, maoni yako ni yepi? Hii ni The Kenyan Daily Report.